What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So if you guys didn't see my YouTube short that I uploaded on the day of the Otama Sugo Fest, I ended up doing a discounted multi. I was lucky enough to get the Speed and Hamlet character, so I wanted to build a one team versus all utilizing them, and I know that not everyone is going to have that unit. That's completely fine. The thing about it is that Hamlet and Speed don't actually mean that much when you're using the combination of Gear 5 Luffy's, where running the 6-star and the 6-star plus together. You really don't need them, but they do help a little bit. Of course, they help with like dealing with special reverse, but Gear 5 helps with that, obviously, as a captain. They also have multi-turn orb boost, which can be nice, and it's another character that's super effective against all types within this event period. But as for the other characters on this team, we have this Sanji, which is very useful versus the strength variation here. Removing the attack down and having that Koala support is very intriguing, so that it actually gives an attack buff to the Gear 5 Luffy, so that when we actually attack, it will make him do a bit more damage than usual. Probably not required. I'm not 100% sure whether or not it was ultimately required, but I decided to put it on there anyway, just to ensure we had enough damage. And then, of course, by using the EX Super of the 6-star Gear 5 Luffy, he transforms into the Gear 5 form, making him go through enemies' defensive effects, so we don't have to worry about having a tandem or a Wano slot in order to break the Yasop barrier. And then, of course, when we reach the final boss stage, both of the Gear 5s basically deal with just about everything. Unfortunately, we do have to kind of hit through the damage limiter naturally, so we do have to have multiple turns of buffs in order to actually kill the opponent in this circumstance here. So we've got the Hamlet and Speed character. As I said, it gives multiple turns of orb boost, which I guess is kind of nice. We also have the two Gear 5 specials, of course, which give some really cool buffs, but they only last for one turn, which is a little bit of a drawback in this situation here. The cool thing, though, is that the way that I've designed the team, I've got Law with the support of Beppo, meaning when we launch the special of Law, it provides the Law with a tandem slot, which means we can trigger the super tandem ability, whilst also allowing us to get the Rush Sugo special with the Gear 5 Luffy. So we can actually still get a super tandem by using the 6-star Luffy, and then we can hit last with the 6-star plus Luffy being super effective against all types, and that Rush doing a lot of damage and carrying really, really hard once we get to deeper levels. Moving on up to the second variation, which of course is going to be versus that quick one, which is the one that has the multiple different types, and this is another reason why Gear 5 Luffy is so good. If you guys have checked out my initial release video of the Kizuna class, showing you guys the teams that I talked about in my preparation video actually going up against this content, and yeah, it just kind of destroys it. This variation of the Kizuna, the fact that there's all these different types on the final boss stage, just by using 6-star plus Gear 5 Luffy being super effective against all types, we kind of just don't even worry about it. It just makes things so much easier. Now, on stage 2, we are inflicted with Burn. We also have a defeat action where the enemy does like 100,000 damage to the crew. I do use the Hancock special here, but it's just because we can use the Gear 5 Luffy on the last stage to give us color affinity, but the Hancock just gives us a bit of damage here, and it doesn't really matter that there's burn, and it doesn't matter that there's end of turn damage, because Luffy can revive us, which makes things so much easier. So Luffy revives us, and that's just completely cool. And then there is an Intimidate against orb boost, so the fact that we have Hamlet and Speed provide us with an orb boost for multiple turns is kind of nice. And sometimes some of the characters are not going to be receiving full cooldown reduction in each of these quests because of their classes or their colors. But luckily, because of Speed and Hamlet, they actually do give -2 cooldown with their special. So even if they're not ready, you can do that, which is cool. If not, you can stall on the turtles on stage 1 for certain specials. So it's kind of easy, honestly. Like, Gear 5 Luffy kind of carries really, really hard in this event, which is so good, making things a lot easier. So building one team versus alls this time around is a cinch, because they decided to boost Gear 5 Luffy in this event. So no matter what variation you're going to be using Gear 5 Luffy in, even if he wasn't receiving cooldown from the preemptive attack at the start of the quest, he's going to receive the cooldown anyways, and because he's a boosted character, he gets double stats, so he's just going to be doing more damage against the boss, which makes things very easy. And then of course we find ourselves at the final boss versus the Inter variation of Shanks. Now this is where we are going to go ahead and use the special ability of the waifus on stage 2, which gives us a really significant heal. Now one thing that I did make a bit of an error with on stage, on the first 2 clips that you guys would have seen, is that I actually did change the support on this team. Now I was using the Sabre support attached to Gear 5, but I ended up switching that out for Momonosuke so that we can use the Luffy special on stage 2, which does end of turn damage, which allows us to kill on stage 2 through that resilience. Otherwise, if you don't have that, you literally have no way to kill stage 2 in one turn, makes things a little bit difficult to deal with. So by having that Momo support attached to Luffy, it enables us to get through. As we said, we have Hancock and the waifu characters to provide us with really good heals, so that when we reach the final boss stage, we're above 90% HP, so that we don't have to worry about the nasty interrupt that will occur on the boss stage. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. Really hope you did. And if you guys are struggling to figure out what to do in this Kizuna, the double Gear 5s deal with a lot of it, because there's a lot of special reverse, bind, despair, and of course there's death hits. So all of those mechanics are kind of dealt with due to the Gear 5 components, so they really carry pretty hard. So as long as you can, you know, fulfill the EX requirements, have one of every color, it makes things a lot easier. But that's going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.